It is still raining. But New York City is in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. So if you don't know what's going on in New York City and the corruption rate in this city, you should be aware that our politicians, our city officials, our police, our commissioners are all corrupt. And we have to talk about the Chinese spy that was literally spying for China, allegedly. So, ladies and gentlemen, take this experience living in New York with a grain of salt. So, as someone that was born here natively in New York City, this city has become, in the recent years, since the pandemic, it's been going up and down. And recently, a former DEI was fired from her position last year because of these allegations that the FBI and the government has proof. And there is physical evidence of this woman here. And she admitted, mind you, she admitted blocking communications between Taiwan and New York City officials because this woman was a Chinese spy. She did not want any American relations at all to communicate between Taiwanese and the US government. Because if you guys don't know what's going on, China wants to invade Taiwan. They believe that Taiwan is part of China. So yeah, there is why she was able and took her position as DEI to block communications between Taiwan and United States representatives and New York City officials. So ladies and gentlemen, this city has been, it makes you want to think about moving out. Is it safe in New York City? I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not safe after what happened last night in the subway. So if you guys don't know what happened in the subway last night, the much expired, you know, this woman, this Thai model comes to New York, and mind you, New York City released a convicted con, and mind you, out on probation, and he attacked this woman. So let me show you some of that video. What you just watched was a Thai model, mind you, very young, aspiring, came to New York, wanted to do modeling. New York City decided to release this felon back onto the streets of New York City. As you see that violent robbery and beatdown attempt on a young lady, this man is much bigger, much stronger, and this is what we have to deal with in this city, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we, as citizens, have to deal with. Mind you, we, the taxpayers, have to deal with the nonsense decisions that these politicians make. And this is why the bail reform in New York City sucks. Because all they do is release the criminals back out into the streets and have them do it all over again. Does not make sense. So ladies and gentlemen, we also, like I said in the beginning, we have this spy, well, she's been arrested, her and her husband. this city. We are not in safe hands in New York City. Have bad intentions. This woman was a Chinese spy. So stole PPP money during the pandemic. What does that say? So ladies and gentlemen, please do subscribe, like, and share as we walk through the New York City subway. And it's very muggy and very hot down here. Very hot. New Yorkers have to deal with. Position in the DEI. She was in charge of this important role for us American, and mind you, for equal opportunity. And she betrayed that trust. She lied about everything in her mission statement. She was working for the Chinese government, allegedly. Allegedly, this woman deceived us all. Mind you, she was born in China. She came here when she was 5. She's a, mind you, she's a naturalization American citizen. So she got her American citizenship, and she betrayed that American, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, she betrayed that American citizen trust. So keep that in mind. She deceived us all. So, am I in good hands? Are you in good hands if you live in New York City? I don't think we are. We got this Zhiyun guy that wants to run for mayor. What a psychotic person. Some of these people really think he is going to win the election. No. No. Let me explain something to you folks. If you're not listening to 50 Cent, 50 Cent is a native Queens, New York resident and still lives here in New York, ladies and gentlemen. One of the very few rappers that can literally say, I have a mansion in New York, right in my hometown, Queens, right? He offered this man $250,000 to leave New York. Listen, I wish someone offered me $250,000 to leave New York. I'd be like, I leave New York, let's go, give me that money. Give me that money. But no, he wants to defund the police. He wants free supermarkets. He wants free everything, everybody. This is not, and here's the problem. He's trying to do what Cuba did back in the day. And look how that turned out. It's failed. So, ladies and gentlemen, like, listen, you can't get free healthcare in this country. Mind you, he's saying free healthcare. You're not the president, you're not Congress, and you're definitely not a senator or a governor. You're just a man trying to run for mayor of the city, and you want to change the way of things. Ladies and gentlemen, this man has no sympathy and no brain, mind you, no brain pattern to think about what he's literally trying to offer us. A fiction, mind you, a fictional reality that doesn't exist. It's a non-fiction place. Sorry. So non-fiction. That place does not exist for us. There's no way you're gonna put free supermarkets in New York City. No, that's just bullshit. Free healthcare, that's also bullshit. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got a Chinese spy in New York City. Mind you, like I said, she's been arrested, her and her husband. But as I said, she did more than that. She stole PPP money during the pandemic, $8.1 million. So, I'm not the bad, mind you, I'm not the bad guy here. I'm not the criminal. I'm not the grifter. These people are. This woman here betrayed the 14th Amendment. She swear on the oath of the 14th Amendment. She swear on the 14th Amendment to honor that 14th Amendment, but she did not respect that 14th Amendment. So I hope the government does do justice, but also Governor Hochul and Governor Cuomo at the time hired this woman. Keep that in mind. Cuomo hired, mind you, Cuomo administration hired this woman in 2012. She was elected in 2018 to deputy DEI. Oof. And then she worked for Hochul in 2022 and was terminated last year, 2024, for her role of espionage, allegedly. So, ladies and gentlemen, take this video with a grain of salt as I walk to my storage. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wet Wednesday, because I'm sure I am having. Mind you, the 4th of July is 2 days from now. And yes, I have to cover the 4th of July event. If you guys want to see that event, we're going to make sure we got some food in our stomach, because like we have to sit outside all day to babysit one spot so we get the photos that we need. So, ladies and gentlemen, take this video with a grain of salt. And I talk to you guys in the next one.